Right now, in every single cell of your body, there is a Neanderthal. Not a metaphor, a real one, woven into your DNA. Pieces of someone who died 40,000 years ago, whose face you would recognize as almost human, but not quite. And there's probably a Denisovan in there too, and maybe one or two species we haven't named yet. You are not one kind of human. You are several, and you're the only one left. A million years ago, you would have shared this planet with at least 6 different species of human. 6, walking around, coexisting. Some were tall, some were tiny. Some had brains larger than yours. Today there is one, you. And the question nobody quite wants to answer is this: what happened to the others? Why are we alone? The honest answer is stranger than anything they taught you in school. We didn't kill them. Well, not exactly. We absorbed them through their skin into ours. And the proof is inside you. Let's start with the Neanderthals. For 150 years, that word was an insult. It meant brutish, stupid, subhuman. Almost every single thing in that sentence turned out to be wrong. Neanderthals buried their dead. They made jewelry from drilled animal teeth. They cared for the injured. There are skeletons of Neanderthals who lost limbs and went on living for years. Someone fed them. Someone cleaned their wounds. Someone stayed. Their brains were on average the same size as yours, sometimes larger. And around 50,000 years ago, when your direct ancestors walked out of Africa, they walked straight into them. What happened next is what we need to talk about. For decades, scientists assumed that when 2 different human species met, one would simply outcompete the other. Cleaner that way. Simpler. Then in 2010, the messy version arrived. A Swedish geneticist named Svante Pääbo, working in a lab in Leipzig, finished sequencing a complete Neanderthal genome from a single fossilized bone. Then he compared it to the DNA of living people, and the result broke the room. Every single person alive today whose ancestors left Africa carries Neanderthal DNA. Between 1 and 4%, which means it wasn't a war. It was a relationship. Modern humans and Neanderthals met on the road out of Africa, somewhere in the Middle East. And they did what living things do when they meet. They had children, many of them, over thousands of years. And those children went on to have children of their own. And so on, down to you. But here's the part almost nobody quotes. The Neanderthal DNA inside us came in mostly through one direction. Sapiens fathers, Neanderthal mothers. We know this from a quirk in the genome. Sons born from those pairings tended to be infertile. Daughters were fine, which is why their maternal line survived in us, and the paternal one didn't. The genetics remembered the gender of every single encounter. 40,000 years later. That's the kind of thing that should make you stop reading for a second. Because hidden in your chromosomes right now is a record of who slept with whom. And there's more. In 2008, Russian archaeologists were excavating a cave in southern Siberia called Denisova. They found a piece of finger bone the size of your fingernail. A young girl, 13 years old, dead for around 90,000 years. They sent it to Pääbo's lab. The DNA came back wrong. Not Neanderthal, not modern human. Something else entirely. A species nobody had ever described. A species with no name. They called them Denisovans after the cave. And then they sequenced more of their DNA and found that Denisovans are also inside us. Not in Europeans, in the people of Papua New Guinea, Melanesia, parts of Indonesia, and Aboriginal Australians. Between 3 and 6% of their genome. More Denisovan than the Neanderthal we carry. Tibetans carry a Denisovan gene called EPAS1 that lets them breathe at high altitude without suffering. They inherited it from a relationship that happened in Asia, a gift from a species that no longer exists. But it gets stranger. In that same Denisova cave, in a different layer of dirt, they found another tiny bone. They ran the DNA. The result didn't make sense at first. The bone belonged to a girl, also around 13. Her mother was a Neanderthal. Her father was a Denisovan, a first-generation hybrid. 2 different species, 1 daughter. She had no name. They started calling her Denny. And here's the thing that broke the field. A direct hybrid like that, found by chance, in one cave, on one continent, in one specific moment in time. The math says these encounters were not rare. They were happening constantly. 3 different kinds of human, sharing the same valleys, the same fires, the same beds. For tens of thousands of years. And then there's the strangest case of all. On the Indonesian island of Flores, in a cave called Liang Bua, archaeologists found the skeletons of humans who stood about a meter tall. Adult. Fully grown. The press called them hobbits. The name stuck. Their brains were the size of an orange. They made tools. They hunted. And they were still alive on that island around 50,000 years ago, right when modern humans arrived in the region. Did our ancestors meet them? Almost certainly. Did we sleep with them too? We don't know. The tropical climate destroyed their DNA before we could read it. The question may never have an answer. But the population of Flores today carries unexplained genetic signals. Signals that don't match anything we've identified. Ghosts in the genome. Whispers of someone we lost. This is the part where the standard story falls apart. We were taught that humans are a clean line, one species climbing slowly toward intelligence, triumphant, alone at the top. The truth is that for most of our history, we weren't alone. We lived alongside Neanderthals, and Denisovans, and hobbits, and at least one species we've never even seen. And everyone slept with everyone. It was a 100,000-year orgy. And then, one by one, all of them disappeared. Except us. Not because we killed them, although sometimes we probably did, but mostly because we absorbed them. Their populations were smaller, ours kept growing. The math did the rest. Their genes went into the larger pool. Their bodies didn't come out. You are the result. The mixing tank. The end point. Every non-African alive today is part Neanderthal. Many Asians are part Denisovan. Some populations carry ghosts we cannot identify. You are not one human. You're a composite. The last surviving composite. There used to be other ways to be human. Shorter ways. Taller ways. Ways with bigger brains and broader noses. Ways that hunted mammoths in the snow with wooden spears. All of those ways are now extinct as separate species. But they're not entirely gone. They went into us. Your immune system carries Neanderthal genes that fight off viruses. Your ability to live at altitude, if you have it, came from a Denisovan. Some of how you sleep, how your skin reacts to the sun, all of that borrowed, inherited, from cousins who are no longer here to claim it back. And here's the closing thought. The one that took me a while to sit with after I learned it. You are not the descendant of a winning species. You are the descendant of a long, slow, intimate negotiation between several kinds of humans. You are what was left when everyone went home. The last survivor of a 100,000-year orgy. And you are carrying all of them with you, quietly, in every cell, still here.